we would love to polish a bit. One of them is the arrangement. Of course, at least I've given a part of it, but to the fans bit of it, how prepared, why probably, first of all, how do you feel with the current state of the club, how it is pushing on, and what exactly have the fans done that this time round you're seeing numbers keep growing here and there? That's also another thing that one would be asking, of course, in this. So first round wasn't the best for the club, but second round has really shown that the fans are back as being, of course, representative of the fans. What did you people do behind there? Even us in the management, we didn't know.
Thank you, Owen. Good evening, all our viewers out there of West Nile TV. We are so happy to be here. The fans went back to drawing board, just to be brief. And I want to thank management for really encouraging them amidst the trials that the club went through. They reorganized themselves, selected new leaders, and cleaned the house. And we said, no, we will not let Ondoparaka go down. So we started this second leg together, and working hand in hand with management and other stakeholders and well-wishers in the region and in the country and beyond. So they have been working closely with management to ensure that they support the boys wherever they play. They come in big numbers. I really appreciate each and every one of you, Ondoparaka fans and well-wishers out there. They have been coming, watching the games, attending, encouraging the boys, supporting management in all its activities. So I think that has bolstered the team's performance, as we can evidently see now.
Okay. Yeah. And now, of course, one reason why I probably should be here is the travels, how prepared the team is, strategy for the remaining 3 games. Now we should say Police, Mbale Heroes, and Calvary, which I know which the game per now is taken game per game, and now Police is the next hunting ground to probably go for. How are the arrangements?
First of all, Police has been a good customer. We have never lost to Police, thank God. In Big League, in UPL, and in Big League again. The performance with Police has always been good. The travel arrangements are well on ground. I first want to also commend the management once again and the team at large. They are well prepared. I watch the boys play, do their final training and then host the other friendly. They are top notch right now. So we are going with these back-to-back wins. The energy is up. The fans are upbeat. The arrangements have been put in place by management and our sponsor Ababet. They have been able to come through in this crucial moment to ensure that fans who are the 12th member of the team travel, and at a very subsidized rate. Going to Kampala has been very expensive, and now the Karuma issue and also the oil prices, you know what's happening in the world. But we also want to thank California buses for coming through, and Kasamba coaches. California has been with us for long. They have given us a bus. Management and Ababet have ensured, in fact, they gave us 1 free bus for the fans to travel and support the boys. But then us as fans leaders, we thought it right that we need to go in numbers. Numbers matter in such crucial games. So we said, no, let's divide that 1 bus into 2 so that it takes enough funds. At least they'll part with something media, but they'll be in attendance. So they cut the cost to half. Fans pay half, which is only 40,000 to and fro. It has never happened. I don't see people traveling to Kampala for 20,000. So this is an opportunity to experience that. And then we shall depart at noon from OPM grounds tomorrow. That is Saturday. We set off here. We want by 3-4 p.m. we're at the toll in Para. We travel. Entry is free. Don't worry about paying. I know some people are scared that passing through Para, you part with some money. It is free. We also want to thank the government for giving us that provision. Some people have never used that route. They will use that opportunity to see the wildlife and the beauty of the country. So I encourage our fans to also go and enjoy the beauty of Uganda while we go and cheer the boys.
Yeah, a very big one. Of course, a day to talk about. Sunday is the game time with Police. Of course, game day, with Police, 4 p.m. But looking at all this duration that you're going to see, if you set up here at noon, probably you would reach late in the night or in the morning in Kampala. How are the arrangements there that you're going to have in Kampala?
We have a massive reception in Kampala. We have a Kampala and Central chapter that will receive funds that are coming from all across West Nile. We'll be picking funds across, and some are traveling from Yumbi as far as Moyo to come and board from here. We move in a convoy with other private means. So we shall be received at Arua Park. We have a team that is already established that will give us reception, and of course the funds welfare is being looked at. They're going to organize us a few things there. We will be received, we make merry there, and then we take over Arua Park, from where we shall have our procession. From Arua Park, others will be with their bikes, others will walk. Some told me they've already started that journey. We shall find them on the way. So the morale is high. The Arua Park team is upbeat to receive us. They're going to organize us meals. They're going to give us a very good reception. And welfare is taken care of for our fans.
Okay,
yes.
I think that's one of the biggest things to talk about, which is so nice. But someone called me, was asking how that would be for entry and the rest. I told him, I think there's entries on you as per person, but something that is little to go on. But as Onduparaka Football Club, this should be one of the things that should be showing to people, because I remember those days, the Wankuruku periods and the rest could be showing the Nachivubo times, where Onduparaka could fill the whole of Nachivubo. Plans ahead of this. After the game, are you traveling back or you're spending a day?
Considering that some of our fans have to work, the next day will be Monday. We want to depart immediately after the game. We come to we first come to Arua Park, have a meal, and then we set off from there. And we know it will be quite late, so the bus will most likely spend the night in Masindi. Then early morning, we should be able to set off. In 2 hours' time, we'll be back home.
Okay, that's a nice one. Of course, to you, the fan, who probably would be part of this. Now, let's look at police. Just like you said, I don't want to take you to the statistics or to take you to the in-depth tactical bit of it, but looking at what we talk about, the big game coming and going in numbers. What does that mean for Onduparaka fans? That's one. Two, looking into the fans that way, I know you should be, what is your estimate or your estimation for the fans of Onduparaka this time around to turn up at the police's home ground?
Well, our chapter, once again as chapter, I want to thank them, the Kampala and Central chapter. They have mobilized heavily. So we have a team coming from eastern side up to Lugazi, Jinja. We have another team within Central that is mobilizing, and from institutions, from all our other funds around. And then backed by the ones that are coming from West Nile and across other regions, we expect at least 2,000 people. 2,000 fans. So we are going to take over their fans' police. And you know, the funny thing, most of the policemen, our law enforcement people, are our fans. Most of the people in the hierarchy are our fans, and they're telling me they will be there. They will come in our jersey, although they are law keepers.
Wow, a very nice one probably to talk about right there, and how the arrangement is, of course, going on from the fan side. I think it's one of the biggest thing. Before I later go of Ben, because he's a busy man, he's going to have other things to do probably. Ben, maybe your summary of the whole travel, timing and the rest probably, in case someone is from Germany, comes late, what is going to be that means, because and he has paid and the rest of the things. Then where do we get payment? Because I know some people would want to pay still up to now. How is the payments mode? Who are the in charge personnel? Probably it would be very, very good to give it out so that someone is able to pay to the right accounts.
Thank you so much. Our fans from across West Nile who are not within Arua, you can set off as early as today. We have reserved a place where you can reside from California Hotel. He has offered us space. We want to thank you, Mr. Mbatia, for coming through for us. You can come, you spend the night there. We'll have something small for you to keep you up. And in the morning, we shall be able to depart at noon. So I urge all of us to converge in time. Let's keep time and let's be well disciplined and behaved. And for payments, our offices at Cafeteria, Room 28 are open. Christ the King, you just ask there, they will direct you. You will find Winnie in Winnipeg in our office. And then our funds treasurer, Miss Precious Jessica, is also accessible on her phone number, which I'll share with you. I don't have it offhand. I'll share with you, but you can also find it on all Onduparaka platforms and handles. You'll be able to get the necessary information and numbers there.
Setting off is known?
Known, from OPM grounds.
Okay, I think that's one big one that I would really want to thank him for. Just like in summary, he has put that, and I would love to let him go, probably to see that we get the best. So if you don't see him, that means he would have gone. But if you again get to what exactly we need to talk about, a lot of sports disciplines that we shall be talking about right here. So let's take a break. When we come back, I'll be giving you more of the interesting stories that probably will be coming through from the national scene, and at the same time from the international scene, courtesy of the Whistle Time right here. As of course we wave off, that is Mr. Lord Ben, the Onduparaka funds representative. Of course, he's a coordinator. He coordinates the funds to the management. That's why he is able to be here and give you all what exactly the plans from the fund side are like. So just a minute, we'll be right back to give you all the rest of the stories. Let's take a break.
Today is Friday the 17th of the month of May. It is a great pleasure having you on board this evening. But before we get to give you the news bulletin in detail, let's first have a look at what is making rounds in the headlines. In the headlines tonight, Karuma street vendors decry low sales after diversion of routes. Adjumani parents starts to protect children while at home. And Lubarakari implores communities to be hospitable to refugees. For this and more, in the Nalcast News Bulletin. Welcome back. My name is Farish Majid, and now to begin off with the news bulletin in detail. Following the temporary close of Karuma Bridge to pave way for the renovation, truck drivers are now also really not allowed to move on the road, and now this has forced the business community in the area to complain and decry the low sales, as this has also really affected the business in the area. Take a look at the story.
Street vendors in Karuma Town Council, Kriadongo District are counting losses as they fail to get profit for their businesses due to low sales after the pronouncement Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, halting heavy trucks crossing to and from northern Uganda. Many vendors who used to support their families through selling of different commodities in Karuma Town have failed to extend their help since they are operating on losses. A mini survey conducted by this reporter indicates that some street vendors go back home with empty hands, sitting from morning to evening without sales. Rachel Lamono, a Sambasa seller on Karuma Highway, says she has resorted to selling scraps to earn money as she no longer gets profit in selling her products. She attributes the low sales to the closure of Karuma Bridge by Uganda National Roads Authority. Tribe Abdul dealer in poultry said he used to sell 5 to 10 chickens daily, but due to the closure of Karuma Bridge, he normally gets little profit to meet his demand.
Christian no one to name it. Erma Hamuaniki to Media, one name of the Dunker Christian. Con give no property, not here as well. Everything may be very Kilmaroba, Numir Nana, no point, nothing more. The Chocolate can let it again word like Jadan. Meowa, kony achala Kristo.
Fred Okello, chairperson Karuma Boda Boda Association, says they are most vulnerable and calls upon the government to extend support to the street vendors, especially in Karuma, to boost their businesses.
Ati Boda Boda me Karuma Town Council. Kawoni tijuda kotekiwa, tijukiwa yo basi wavutu koledo ngetwakai. Kimi kadiwa bridge da kotek. Ko motokare basi aika Kampala binu motokare me matendo wanange pango tie tingo kaso amigiteru. Don wan ka yore da kotek wa boda don wabi denu chan. Yore da kotek. Wakwa juma malo onen kiriyo mimi wakonya no boda. Ko wabi tako.
Asuman Oketi, market due collector, expressed worry over low businesses since many street vendors shunned the business. He promised not to take tender gain as some of the street vendors are looking for survival outside the town.
My customers and my people, the challenges we have, life is not only easy in Karuma. Because like some of our brothers who are working in taxis, they are not getting passengers. Because so many people, they came from our side, they always mania and then they proceed to Lira. That is the challenge that we have. Those guys, they are not getting.
Currently, the prices of commodities in Karuma town has reduced, unlike those days when the street vendors could overcharge their customers. Karuma town borders Noah district from the southern bank of Karuma Bridge. It is alleged that next week Uganda National Roads Authority will also ban light vehicles from using the bridge, leaving now only Boda Boda to use the bridge. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Welcome back, and moving on to Adjumani district. Parents in the district have been urged to offer guidance and protection to their children, most especially during this time of holidays, so as to prevent them from being hurt by ill-intentioned persons. Alan Onzima has more details on this story.
During this period, as learners are yet for first-term holiday 2024, stakeholders in Adjumani district have called on the parents to guide and protect their children from getting harmed and indulging in other activities that may ruin their future. This appeal was made as most of the parents have forgotten their responsibilities, where most of the children are seen going for night discos and market, especially rural areas. Honorable Kaijuka Richard Arthur, the Vice Chairperson LC5 Adjumani District, said most of the challenges is due to late markets which give opportunities for the children to misbehave, coupled with the discos at night because of the parents' negligence.
There is also a challenge in Ukusi Joining Market. The market opens at 6 p.m. and then it ends at 11 p.m. and it continues with disco. In Jaipi, there is what they call auction. The auction is the whole day, and at the end, it ends with disco. In Yofua, the market begins late, it ends late, and children come to buy nothing in this market, but rather to always see how they can continue with their affairs. Now, what does that one show to us? It means the parents are not doing their work of controlling the children.
However, Honorable Kaijuka Richard calls on the parents to stop sending their children to the markets, but also take extra care of their children as they are the future leaders.
Children are loaded with mangoes for sale. They bring the mangoes for sale in town and they go very far after the sale of the mango, very late. In the process of going back home late, we don't know what happens. In the process of picking the mangoes for sale, children climb the mango tree. At the end, there is the accident. And children, there is the likelihood of children becoming disabled because of the accident falling from the mango tree. I appeal to my dear parents in Ajumani district, West Nile region, Northern Uganda, and the country at large. Your future is your child. And for the child to become your future, the priority is this child must get educated.
Honorable Sensenko Dominic, the chairperson LC3 for Arinyapi sub-county in Ajumani district, said the parents should involve their children in productive activities other than sending them to marketplaces.
So I urge parents to handle our children properly. Do not send them to marketplaces. They should not go for discos, because discos who can even disqualify them in their education. So I urge all these students should at least be engaged in profitable activities, not in that multi-practices.
According to reports from the district, most markets starts at late hours and also end late, particularly past midnight, which is putting the lives of the children at risk. Thus need to regulate it. Peace Oshaki, Ojima Alan, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
Welcome back. In other news, as the relationship between host communities and refugees continues to get sour, Lugbarakari, the cultural institution that brings together the different tribes under Lugbara, has asked its subjects to continue to live in harmony with the refugees so as to maintain peace. And this call was made during a community outreach in Leju Town Council, as Benson Oraku files more on the story.
As the relationship between the host communities and the refugees is diminishing, and at the same time rampant climate change in West Nile region, Lugbarakari together with some district leaders organized gathering in Teregu district at Leju Town Council on Wednesday, 15th of May 2024 to sensitize the communities on how to create harmony between the host community members and the refugees for the purpose of peace building, and at the same time how to handle rampant climate change. Pharaoh Richard Andama, Minister for Tourism and Wildlife Lugbarakari, says the host communities should stay in harmony with the refugees and handle them like brothers when it comes to land issues.
You see, it is quite very important that when the refugees came here, government, through the local governments, offered them areas for settlement. Now, many of the areas that were given were actually communal lands which people used to use for grazing and for hunting. Now, because of the large number of refugees, land has become scarce. And more so, many of the development partners who used to actually aid the refugees with the supplies of food and other materials has actually run out, I think, because of shortage of resources. We are here trying to share ideas and information as to how to live in harmony with our refugees in West Nile, particularly in Terego and the Madi districts.
Peter Gift, Refugee Welfare Councillor for West Nile region, says they still continue to encounter some challenges from the host communities.
One of the challenges, landlords sometimes do not respect the agreement that they have. It can be verbally, most times it has been verbally agreement between the landlord and either a refugee who wants a land. And you find that after cultivating, either putting your cassava there, before your cassava yields, you may find that the landlord has already hired that land to someone else. Or sometimes after cultivating your cassava, you may find your cassava is being harvested in the garden without your knowledge, and you don't know who has. Of recent, we have been receiving reports of attempted rapes to our women who are trying to access their fields. Those who have hired land from the host and they are trying to go into the bushes, either 1 or 2 kilometers, and you find men attempt to rape them in the bushes. A number of animals have been stolen from the refugees. Sometimes we even arrest some of these youths. We arrest them and we hand over them to police. And you may find that these are hosting youths.
Marta Tiko, Minister for Land and Environment Luke Barakari similarly says it does not sound real when host communities get into wrangles with the refugees over land issues and urges them to adjust.
When somebody pays for the land, let him harvest his property before you chase him away. You know, at the moment, the land has become resources of money. Those days people didn't know about the land issue, but the land has become resources of money. But let us forget those issues. We are human beings. If somebody pays the money, let him harvest his things first, and then you need to go and harvest or take them away. It's not good.
Right Honorable Tuku Ismail, Prime Minister Luke Barakari highlights the public on some of the solutions to the challenges the refugees encounter, more especially on the issues of the land.
The challenge of recent has been that the stray animals from the refugee side, when they come to the area of the landlords, these animals cannot be traced easily. In most cases, they disappear in the thin air. For that reason, we formed a committee called the Alliance Committee of 32 members. Half the refugees, that's 16, and half the landlords, to handle this kind of matters. And we have also trained this committee in settling matters using the alternative dispute resolution, leave alone going to the formal courts and so on. So this is very effective and it is happening. With the introduction of CCOs, that is a certificate of customary ownership of land, introduced by ZOA. Before you give a refugee land, whether you rent it out or you give for free, you have to have a certificate, agree on paper to say the duration for you to use my piece of land is 1 year, 2 years, and so on.
Chamber de John Baptist, Assistant Superintendent of Police Teregu District, finally highlights the challenges and possible solutions to them.
We have received some cases, but the challenging part we get in cases of rape that have happened in the refugee communities. Some cases have been reported late, and the victims fail to give a narration of what exactly happened so that we can have a very good basis to initiate investigations. Then some other cases are not reported to police at all. Let them avoid those solitary movements, especially when they are going to fetch water, they are going to fetch firewood. Let them move in groups at least 2 or 3. These youth who are talked about to have been suspected to be the ones promoting this kind of vice and criminality, let us talk to our children, because these are our children.
Uganda is one of the few countries known of providing a safe hub for refugees, and Western region alone is having different refugee hubs. Therefore, host communities are asked to be friendly to them. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television Nilecast.
Interestingly, both the top tier of Ugandan football and the top tier of English football, I'm talking about StarTimes Uganda Premier League and English Premier League, they are climaxing over the weekend, and also Leeds, they have already sealed the slot to the finals of the Championship playoffs after thrashing Norwich in yesterday's game. But before we talk about international sports, let's first take a look at what is transpiring in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Like I said before, it's getting interesting and neck to neck and up to the wire, as the show will be coming to an end tomorrow with so many games to be played. And I can confirm to you, all the top 4 teams, they are capable of winning the StarTimes Uganda Premier League title. Right now, the team which is leading the table is the team of Sports Club Villa. The last time they won the competition has already stayed for 19 years. Before we talk much about the log, let's first take a look at the fixtures to be played tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is 18th of May and the year is 2024. Interestingly, Bull, of course, will be finalizing the season with a trip away to Busoga as Airtel Sitara, newly promoted side into the league, will be staying at home in Hoima as they welcome Gaddafi, and Kasasiro Boys will be taking a trip away to Luzira as they take on Maroons, and NEC, of course, will be having a tough encounter up against the current log leaders, that's Sports Club Villa, and for Soltino Bright Stars of Nelson Senkatuka, they'll be traveling away to URA as Vipers will of course be maintaining St. Mary's tended there on the ground as they welcome Bara City. And lastly, you will be expecting an encounter between UPDF and the team of Wakiso Giants. As I said, right now, you look at the shape of the table standing, the team which is leading the log is the team called Sports Club Villa with the 54 points. Second on the log is Venoms, that's Vipers with the 53. Third on the log is the team of Bull with the 53. And the team which completes the top 4 is the team of Airtel Sitara. This is now the statistics. Last season, we saw the team of Sports Club Villa losing it in the last game as they were beaten, and we saw Venoms cleansing it in the final day. This time, are they going to do the same mistake, or else it will be the time for them to end the drought of 19 years of not winning the title? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see tomorrow as they take on a tough game up against NEC. And also Vipers, last season we saw them snatching it away from the hands of Jogos in the last game. Are we going to see the same thing repeating itself? Is also what everyone is waiting to see. And at the same time, we never know, it might be the time for a history newly promoted side into the league cleansing the title. Of course, Sitara, that has been performing so brilliantly, still is in the race of winning the title. And at the same time, Bull, a team that comes from Jinja, is also still in the race. And tomorrow, the show will be coming to an end. Like I said, when actually I was giving the highlights of what I am going to give you at the moment, also in Europe, more especially in English Premier League, it will also be coming to an end. But not tomorrow, it will be on Sunday. The battle for the title race is only for the two teams, that's the Gunners. And at the same time, Citizens. Right now, the team which is leading the log in English Premier League is the team of Manchester City with 88, followed by Arsenal with 86. But for Manchester City, they will be ending the movie with a game up against West Ham. They will be at home. Meanwhile, for the Gunners, of course, they will also be sitting at Emirates Stadium as they take on the team of Everton. So we are watching the space closing on Sunday, where, of course, English Premier League title will be going. Those ones are not the only games to be played. Still, some teams are fighting for the European slot, both UEFA Europa League and also Europa Conference. Yesterday, I spoke lengthy about it. Of course, I cannot give you. Let's strictly go to the fixtures to be played in the final games of the English Premier League. Like I said before, Arsenal will be finalizing the season with a game up against the Toffees, that's Everton. Meanwhile, Newcastle will be looking for a way to either finish in UEFA Europa League or else in Europa Conference as they take a trip away to Brentford. At Burnley, already relegated Burnley will be sitting at Turf Moor as they welcome Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, they are not yet secure, but 90% they're already very secure. Manchester United, of course, will be taking a trip away to Amex Stadium as they take on Brighton and Hove Albion. For Crystal Palace, they will be staying at Selhurst Park as they welcome Aston Villa, a team that has already secured a place in top 4. That's Aston Villa for you. And Wolves will be finalizing the season with a trip away to Anfield as they take on Liverpool. And of course, Luton Town, already relegated Luton Town, will of course have to play for prestige as they take on Fulham. And West Ham, like I said, will be taking a trip away to Etihad to take on Manchester City. And lastly, also already relegated side, Sheffield United, of course, will be taking on the team of Spurs. Like I said, two teams already been relegated, that's Sheffield United and the team of Burnley. But this is the statistics for Nottingham Forest to survive and also for Luton Town to survive. Luton Town, right now, they're having so many negatives, but the team of Nottingham Forest, they're having fewer negatives compared to the negatives that's on Luton Town. For Luton Town to survive, they will need to beat their opponent 13-0, hoping that Nottingham Forest is beaten. So this is the statistics I was talking about. And lastly, in the second tier championship, a game was also played yesterday night. It was actually the second semi-final between Norwich and the team of Leeds, where we saw Leeds hammer Norwich by 4-0. That means the team of Leeds has already cemented a place in the championship playoffs final, either waiting for the Saints, that's West Bromwich Albion, that's Southampton as West Bromwich
Bromwich Albion because they are playing tonight. As I talk right now, the first leg ended in a barren draw. Leeds may either take on West Bromwich Albion or as on the team of Southampton. That one brings us to the end of today's edition of Nilecast Sports News. Of course, every day it's me, Benson Pastore, in front of the camera and also behind Nilecast Sports News. Let's link up again tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Oraku Benson Pastore, for those sports updates. And I know the sports lovers, definitely they will be able to be part of these games over the weekend. And from me to you, I want to wish you a very good evening and a happy weekend as well. And then maybe to the teams, to the supporters of these teams, we also wish you the very best, as that does bring us to the end of today's Nilecast News Bulletin. And I've been Farish Majid. Have yourselves a good evening.